Hi everybody, I am Brittany Miller, Treehab's Youth Career Advisor for Susquehanna County Workforce Development. Today we are doing our weekly Wednesday workshop and we are going to do a career spotlight. Today we have with us Holly Arnold and I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she does. Hi Holly.
Hi. Well, my name's Holly Arnold. I live in Tunkhannock in Wyoming County, but I work in Wyoming and Susquehanna counties. I work for Aqua, Pennsylvania, which is part of Essential Utilities. We operate in 7 or 8 states. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly how many right now, but my job is I run water and wastewater facilities in Wyoming and Susquehanna County. So that would be the town of Brooklyn, Hot Bottom, and then the developments of Rivercrest and Washington Park and Tunkhannock. So basically, if you don't have a well or a septic, when you turn the water on, it's coming from somewhere, and when you flush the toilet, it's going somewhere. So that's where I come in. Most people don't really think about the people that keep the water running unless they open the faucet and it doesn't come out. Mm-hmm. So we monitor our well sites, we monitor our wastewater plants. They have to be visited every day to keep the disinfection chemicals supplied and make sure everything's running the way that it's supposed to. That pretty much sums up. We deal with the customer service, we're on call, we handle when there's leaks and things like that, but the routine operations are pretty much making sure everything keeps running the way it's supposed to.
Okay, so you kind of already talked about why your job is essential, because everybody needs water in their home. So we covered that. What kind of training is required for your job?
Well, there is no official training that in the term of a degree or a certificate program like that. It requires a certain number of years of experience where you would get as a trainee, and it requires taking different sets of tests. Our monitoring and compliance agencies are the Department of Environmental Protection, and the Environmental Protection Agency. So in Pennsylvania with DEP, you take the test, you pass the test, and then there's different types of treatment that you would have to be certified for in order to be able to run them. So it's a great job for somebody who doesn't necessarily want to do a 4-year college or a degree program. You just have to be willing to put in the time and take the tests and study and those things.
How many years of experience do you need to have as a trainee usually?
I believe it's usually 2 to 3 years in the different fields or the different treatment mechanisms that you're hoping to use. I didn't plan on being in this field. I have a degree in psychology and I worked for different nonprofits doing things with that degree. But my dad has done this as long as I've been alive, basically. And I was working with him nights and weekends, and this opportunity came around, and it was a very good paying job. It has the company vehicle, good benefits, and I just couldn't say no. So yeah. I've been doing this for 6 years now.
That's awesome. Yes, I have an undergraduate degree in psychology too, and never planned on being a career advisor, but kind of just landed in it and love it. But it's funny how that works sometimes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So are there specific skills that someone in that field should have or would help them?
The biggest thing, at least the way that my specific job is set up, would be the ability to work independently, because I spend the vast majority of my day by myself, monitoring my own time and getting things done that need to get done on that day. You'd also have to have attention to detail, because there are a lot of things that you have to keep track of, and you don't want to walk away from a site and leave something on that should have been off, or off that should have been on. Mm-hmm. So, as long as you're willing to try and work and, do what needs to be done, I think pretty much anybody could be successful in this field.
That's awesome. Are there opportunities for advancement in your field higher than what you are now from a trainee position? Are there even?
Well, I'm actually what my company calls an FO3, which is the highest level of field operator that you can get to with Aqua. But we From here, there are field supervisors, there are area managers, excuse me, and other branches of the company to go off into if you were interested. My company offers tuition for if you wanted to go on to continuing education, and that you're required to do continuing ed trainings for your license every year, which the company pays for and provides. So there is opportunity for advancement. In this specific area, it would require probably a relocation for me, because most of our corporate offices are, the closest one would be in Whitehaven, which is where I am right now. And then from there, it's down near Philadelphia in Bryn Mawr.
Okay. All right. Well, no, we covered that one. What made you decide to get into the field? Do you have any advice for someone looking to get in your career field?
Well, it's a funny thing because I've never met anybody who is like a 17 or 18-year-old kid and is thinking about their future has said, I really can't wait to operate water and wastewater treatment facilities. But it is actually a field that, because it's not so recognized, it's not something people think about, again, unless something's not working properly. There are a lot of people in the workforce in this field that are at retirement age. So it's actually going to be something that has a great need going forward, because people aren't necessarily getting into it unless they happen to fall into it through answering an ad online or something like that. So the work is there. It's depression proof, it's recession proof. You always have to keep the water flowing and the toilets flushing and make sure that the water that's coming out is safe for the customers that are receiving it, and that the effluent, they call the clean water that leaves the wastewater plants, to make sure that what you're putting into the creeks and streams is as safe and clean as possible.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that there are a lot of opportunities to get into the field in our specific area? I know you mentioned that a lot of people are maybe getting ready to retire. I do run the youth program and work with a lot of kids and talk to a lot of kids at career days and through our summer program. So curious as to if there are opportunities in this area, and if you offer job shadows or maybe like paid work experience opportunities.
I'm not the expert on that particular thing. I know that there are a lot of liability and safety issues that are that have to be considered. I'm not aware of a under 18 type of internship or shadowing program that my company offers. There's the interesting thing with water and wastewater treatment is that there are multiple varieties of ownership of these facilities, if you will. So while Aqua is a large public company that owns many, many, many treatment facilities across the nation, you also have what they call municipal authorities, or your local boroughs and townships, that have their own water and wastewater treatment facilities many times that are owned locally by the community. So I would think that there could be more opportunities depending on the type of facility that you choose to pursue. So every one of them has to have licensed operators, but as far as what the requirements are safety-wise and liability-wise, you probably have a better opportunity contacting your local municipal authority or a privately owned. Some communities, such as Eaton Hills in Tunkhannock, or Eaton Township, that's owned by a small private company. So a lot of times they have different rules or have more leeway than some of the bigger companies do.
Yeah, that's what we find as well when we're working with other employers. I think my last question would be, how has the current pandemic affected your day-to-day or your work?
My work has not changed an awful lot. Our job is to make sure that what we're providing is safe, and that what we're treating and that goes out is as clean as possible. My job in this area would include going into customers' houses if there's a problem, or going in for samples, and the company has eliminated that to the best of their ability. We're not going in for anything other than an emergency situation where a customer doesn't have water, because it would be very difficult to tell everybody they need to be washing their hands and the hygiene efforts if they don't have water to their house. So we make sure to do what is absolutely necessary to keep the water running. But like I said before, 99% of my day is spent by myself. So I don't have a lot of contact. The most contact I would have is going to the office, which, you know, they encourage us not to do any more than absolutely necessary and to wear the masks and you know, use our hand sanitizer. The bigger piece I think has been for almost everybody is that there's so much uncertainty, and the rules or the policies or what everybody with good intentions thinks that we should be doing at any given time, that changes day to day sometimes. So I have to say our company has done a good job of trying to keep up to date. Today they gave us, you know, we had some other masks. Today we got new cloth masks that, you know, can be washed and reused easier. But it's always in response to whatever the newest idea is of how to keep everybody the safest. So yeah, the uncertainty and that change has been unsettling at times, but it's pretty unavoidable given the situation.
It is, yeah. Well, it's really great to hear that they are they're being so accommodating and thoughtful for their employees. That's great.
Yeah, there have been a lot of you know, people who are also in the field that are part of, you know, trade groups and whatnot that we participate in that aren't necessarily having that same experience. So, you know, I think everybody's just doing the best that they can and keep the water going and keep the drains from backing up and wait it out until it's over with.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you recording with us today. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
Well, thank you for having me. You too. Thanks.
Thanks.